So I already have all 72 environmental access UDF, um, but I actually need to make some changes because I have 7 modes within the UDF, and the 7th mode has the descriptions, and I didn't know about the VBA limitation of 25 lines, something like that. And sometimes there's more than 25 components, so I decided that I really need to do it in the sheet. I need to put all these components in a sheet, enter the residue or the motif. So as I've said before, I wanted to get not just the single amino presence, but also the motif or the pattern. So these UDFs now are actually, for the environmental access, getting the base course. These are now almost, I think, almost complete. I don't know if it can be improved even more, but it already has a motif and a pattern detection. So it also add that to the base course. It detects patterns too. So this is much improved UDF, and it is a bit research intensive. When I actually get the data, retrieve data, like 1,000 proteins in a single folder, I have to turn it off the UDF. I have to do some programming to make sure that there's no. It's basically just making the protein sequence blank, so nothing is being evaluated, so it doesn't trigger a calculation. Otherwise, what can actually, like, it only takes like 15 seconds, even less, to retrieve the data. But when you have these calculations, it actually took like 15 minutes. That's, yeah, that's really, it's very memory intensive. So when that happens, when I'm trying to retrieve the data, I made sure to make the protein sequence blank. And also I did some replacement in the LT1 sheet. Instead of the UDF, if it's a single amino acid, I use the other non-memory intensive UDF, the get value in word. So like so it's pretty much just a simple UDF that counts how many letters containing this letter in the sequence, in the cell value. So a much different UDF. So I did realize, because of all these specifications that I asked, that it's a bit memory intensive. And so, but it's okay to, I was able to do some, things. But it's okay now. So, just make sure to do that, anyway, these dashboards in my previous presentation have like a single dashboard for each environmental access, but this can actually display all the 72 UDF, even more, but right now there's only 10 environmental access. It's able to display all 10 of the environmental access, retrieve the description, and also retrieve all the components, like what's the amino acid, what's the motif, and what's the multiplier, what's the scores. It's able to retrieve all that information, so we can actually see like how the base folding score was calculated. So this is what this dashboard is, and I did manually compile that in the LT1 sheet, so that's why it's not such a breeze Like, even though I already have the 72 environmental access, I actually need to modify those UDFs too. Like I said, because of the descriptions, there's a 25 minimum limit, so I need to get rid of mode 7. And then also, I'm also kind of making sure that everything is fine, because there is also some kind of error sometimes with those UDFs, because what I was collecting or researching those while my macro workbook was collecting the O data from uniprotein, um, and I could not use Excel while it was collecting data. So I was just doing that. I don't have Excel. I did, I was not able to like test out the UDF, but I was collecting all 72 with just, copying and pasting it into the notepad. And so this is like, now I'm able to just do it now, but it will take some time, especially if I plan to like do all 72 environmental access. So it will kind of take some time. And I'm also, just doing as many dashboards as I can, like trying to, display the information, like how it's going to flow and everything. So I'm also kind of prioritizing that, you know, and so I don't know, but not that long. I mean, I could do it in probably in a single day, but today the goal was just to also create the dashboard. So um, for collecting data, for displaying all these things that just so I could just kind of map out where it's going. So